everybody. Sorry it's been a little bit of time on an update. Been doing a lot of prototyping and figuring out on this little guy. Still don't have a name for it yet. I'm working on it. I'm really close. Nothing to reveal as of yet. So I'm going to flip the camera around and kind of show you guys what I'm looking at. Last prototype was this brass little guy right here. I'm going to flip the camera around so I can kind of show you a little more detail on this. So the brass one went really well. I did flats up here as opposed to the, remember the aluminum where I had the that there. So it's all flat here. Machine that flat right on the plate itself, and I'll show some footage of that here in a little bit. And but I did do the 3D nice milling on there for the contoured side, so it's really comfy. This is the best one yet, but it still has some mismatching and it's not perfect. Let's see, some sides, where is it? Right there. See, this is a little bit bigger than this on the flat right there. So I'm getting some mismatching. Also, I had some issues on the counterbores. So I do side one is everything. Side one is all the critical stuff. So I do all the bores. I do the profile and all these, so everything lines up. Then when I flip it, I do the counter bores on the other side. And my counter bore on my pivot was perfect, right in the center, but these were not. They're off by about 10 to 12 thou offset, one direction. So what I was doing is I was using the stop pinholes as my location. So when on my op one, I would mill it, mill it right here. Then I would flip it over and I would locate using these two, but I'm thinking something was moving slightly. Maybe there's a little bit of movement in there. And so they were not lining up. I also added, I used to only have 2 screws to hold this down and I was getting a lot of warp. So I added 4 more hold downs as well. So this thing is really held down when it goes to op 2, because when I'm op 1, I'm secured down flat to the plate and everything gets milled nice and flat. I put all my flats to make sure it's all flat. And then I flip it, and if it was any warp, now I'll have holes to screw that down and get that nice and secure. But what I'm adding, so instead of locating off of here, I'm going to add and put 2 pins, and they'll be perfectly in the center and then nice and keep everything parallel. So I'm adding these 2 pins over here. I'm adding these 2 pinholes to the plate. I'm also going to machine in, I had this crazy idea to for my liners. Right now I'm just hand grinding this in, but I'm thinking about maybe trying to machine. That's what you're not supposed to machine titanium on here. I'm thinking if I go really light cuts and just 3D in this guy. So I'm going to add this little pocket in here for my clips. So I'm going to do my bores, do an adaptive right in there, and then I just do a nice finishing contour so it has a nice snug fit. And maybe for giggles, I'll add a little chamfer in there too. I didn't do that in this app, but now I just thought about it. So got the mill on. I have not connected it yet, so I just turned it on. Turned on the thing. Here we go. So connect to the printer. Oh, it's gonna say my door isn't shut, so we got a little sensor here. Shut that. Initialize machine. And there we go. That on my lock bar, that the radii on the front are different than the ones on the back, so it fits on the back really nice. At the front, I'm gonna have to do a little machinist trick called the dog ear. So I'm going to draw some geometry and put a couple circles to take out those corners. So yeah, this is what I meant. So I'm just going to do a couple little bores and take out those top corners. That's a little area there. And there it is. Now she has those removed. And the insert fits in there, or the lock bar fits in there really nice. So I just gotta tap these holes and ream these so my pins will fit in there, and we're gonna go make a new set of scales. Sweet. See, on this set of scales, doing a different pattern. This is a chevron pattern that I'm trying out. After a little bit of sanding, a lot of sanding, got rid of all that chatter marks. Best set of scales yet. They line up really nice. Man, they look pretty. On to the next set. Thanks. Well, I think I do have the scale thing pretty much figured out here. Did a new step down pass, talked to the Carbide folks, and my sidewall was getting a really chattery finish, and kind of got that fixed now. I just hit it came out really nice. Hit it with 220 really quick, and then 400 just by hand, and it just cleans up really fast. And I am beyond happy with these bad boys. This is the new called Battle Weave pattern. Really fun. I'm digging it. And getting this guy all ready for blasting and then Cerakote. So these are looking good, coming right along. So got the Battle Weave, got that chevron that I showed you before, and next up will be aluminum with the aspirated. One second. Yeah, so next up will be the aluminum version of the aspirated pattern here that I did in brass. And then I'll be doing the regular version as well, all in aluminum. So we'll have all four ready to rock. Hopefully in a couple by next week. There it is. Thanks so much. Until the next one, hopefully the next video will be Cerakoting and that process. So cool.